Hello, sports fans. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Inside Titan Sports. My name is Erik Kohler. Thanks for joining us. Later on, our very own Michael Parsons will join us for a sports roundup for Titans athletics, and we'll talk some tennis. But first, let's head to the softball fields and talk to head coach Jim Badia. Jim, welcome back to the show.
Thank you very much.
So what you guys have really got things going, and as you guys are trying to ramp up toward the state tournament, set that up for us. Been a great ride so far in your first year.
Yeah, March was very special for us. We were hoping for 20 wins in March, but we got a couple of rainouts, so we'll take 19. 19-5 is pretty legit.
Yeah, 19-5 is pretty impressive. When you look back the first time the show, we revisit this, you had 4 players, Coach. 4 players, and now you have how many players in the roster?
We have 19.
Wow.
And that's kind of my little niche in the softball world is renovation specialist.
Yeah. And you've done a great job, and Building 8 is very, very excited as you make a push for the state tournament.
We got the foundation and some of the walls. We're working on the interior and the roof right now.
I like that. So what's it going to take for the Titans softball team to make the state tournament? There's 2 spots available out of your region, correct?
Yeah, they made it twice as hard this year. Used to be
darned.
4 teams from each conference went. This year it's down to 2. I like our chances. Mathematically, we have the edge.
So what's the reasoning why they went from 4 to 2? Was it just too many teams were in to sort out? What was your thought process on that?
Well, I wasn't around, but I'm thinking athletic directors are probably hesitant to spend money to send a team with 40 losses to the state tournament after a 2-week layoff after conference.
I think that's a good point. Now, you have 6 sophomores on the team this year. Talk about their contributions so far in your first year of how it was to end up their home schedule this season.
They've been great, and I think all of them are going to end up playing at the 4-year level. And they had to have a lot of trust in me. That was the first thing I had to do, was build the trust of especially the sophomores. This guy that they had no idea I didn't recruit them, new coach, they had no idea who I was. So the first thing was to get the sophomores on board, and then they were in charge of getting the other 13 freshmen to follow their lead.
So that's pretty good. Now, the sophomores, of those, who became like a vocal leader per se in the locker room and on the field?
At the start, they were all kind of timid, but probably Jordan more than anybody, Jordan Lawless, because the pitcher has the spotlight anyway. And so the pitcher already commands attention. So anytime you can get a starting pitcher who's got some leadership qualities, they're going to have instant credibility.
So how do you build that trust when you come in? Obviously, you've done this before at some highly reputable programs, now including Eastern Florida. But what was your kind of go-to, Coach, of building the trust of the sophomores to buy-in of your vision?
Well, I think number one is they had to kind of know me and then know my philosophy and understand that, they want to be better. We want to build a program, got the best facility in the state. They want to go out on a winning season, so they want to. The big sell was, hey, you're going to be part of a new era, and you're going to lead the team into that new direction. And you can look back and say, hey, well, I was on that team, the first one to do this, the first one to do that. So once they were on board, easy sailing.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, being part of the foundation, that is an easy sell too. Now, what drew a lot of the freshmen that came in first year in their program? Because now you have 19 on the roster, you have 13 freshmen. Future's bright for Eastern Florida. What are some standout freshmen?
Well, our 2 Palm Bay, Nikki Pennington and Caitlin Meyer, are having great seasons. Our pitcher, Olivia Everett, she always gets the TV games. So, throughout the season, at any given point, they've all had an impact.
So with that being said, is obviously this team has come together at a very quick clip. And now you're having a chance to possibly go to the state tournament. Looking back in the season, I know you're getting ready for the postseason play. That's your goal. But what's impressed you about this team so far in terms of coming together?
I think it's the ability for us to come back late in a game, beginning in March. In February, we didn't quite have that, but once we did it, I think it started with the second game win over Central Florida when we beat them 1-0. And they were top 5 in the country. I think that was kind of the turning point in our belief that we can play with anybody and beat anybody.
I mean, that's a pretty good thing right there, to be able to have the adversity, be able to come back and not quit on a game. Now, talking about that, you were up on a rain-delayed game that you were talking about before on air. Talk about that game. I believe you were 8-3 before the Lightning came in.
Yeah, we had multiple Lightning delays, and we were up 8-3 in the 5th. So technically, it's a a full game, but not in conference. You have to play it out. So had we finished that game, we would already clinch the second spot.
I'll be darned.
Right
Now,
now.
who was this against?
Miami-Dade,
I'll be darned.
which I think is turning in to be our rival.
Okay, that's pretty good. Now, the biggest thing, so 8-3, that would be official in any other game, but
Yeah.
conference play, you got to go how many innings?
You have to go either for the run rule or 7.
I'll be darned. So now that's a big cog now. Now, this weekend you have a couple big games on tap.
Yeah, we travel to Palm Beach, and if we win them both, it's a done deal. We automatically get the spot.
So you control your destiny, per se.
Yeah.
So what other schools outside of Miami-Dade are kind of like a little thorn in the side, per se, in conference play?
Well, we did split with Indian River, and they're top 10 in the country, and so not only are they the closest geographically, but they've won the conference every year. So we know that's who we have to beat to be the conference champions.
Now, you've been a champion before, national champion, I should say, and there are components of those past teams. What are some of the 3 pillars, per se, that a team has to encompass to get to that highest pinnacle that you've seen in the past that this team is close to maybe obtaining?
Well, I think number one, they have to be a team player, team first, team awareness, know that every decision that's made is in the best interest of the team, and it's not, don't take it personal.
Right.
And I think there needs to be loyalty to the program, and everyone's got to be heading in the same direction. And then there has to be attention to detail from everyone in the program, the coaches. Every little thing matters, because like we tell the players, it can come down to one play whether
Right.
or not you go to where you need to go or not. So it's attention to detail, being a great teammate, and loyalty to the program and each other.
Well, the biggest thing with those being said, those 3 big factors, how do you think this team is rated up and ramped up over the course of the season?
We've had an amazing team chemistry this year. And there are some people who flat out told them, hey, well, I understand when you're not playing.
Right.
We want players on the team who aren't happy with not playing. And they've made some adjustments, because a lot of college players, they were all everything in high school, and they go through a little learning curve. But most of the players we've had who've kind of had to change a role, it's inspired them to work harder.
Well, I think that's the biggest thing too, Coach. So hats off to you to be able to get the ladies to buy into that role. They came in, they were the top dog in their pond,
Yeah.
and now they got to accept a little bit lesser of a role. How's that message to them when they see that, whoa, everything's going to kind of change in my role? How do you get them to acclimate a little bit quicker?
Well, I think we got lucky in that most players like to have somebody pushing them. So with 19 players, you're going to have at least 2 on the depth chart in every position. So some people, they respond to that. They're all competitive. They're college athletes.
Well, I'll tell you what, Coach, it's great to have you. Congratulations on building another program, and good luck making that state tournament, and come back and keep us updated.
We'll be there the first weekend in May.
I like your style. Jim Badia,
Thank you.
thanks for your time. This is Inside Titan Sports. Stick around. We got some cool interviews. We're talking tennis. This is Inside Titan Sports.
Create the career of your dreams with a degree from Eastern Florida State College. Earn a bachelor's degree, associate's degree, or college certificate in growing job fields like healthcare, business, and computer technology. On campus or online, you can find inspiration and success. Anything's possible where Titans rise. Eastern Florida State College.
Hey fans, welcome back to Inside Titan Sports. Please welcome back to the show the manager of athletic communications for Eastern Florida. He is Michael Parsons. Hey Mike, welcome back to the show.
Thanks, I'm glad to be here.
I'll tell you, we're talking about softball on the other side. Now let's talk about women's tennis. Under the tutelage of Bobby Cashman, they got a run at possibly making the Nationals.
Yeah, they really do. They've had a really good regular season and, playing very well. And one of those players we're going to talk to is Yuliana Monroy, who plays #1 singles and #1 doubles, and we talked to her about that. Well, I'm out here at Titan Tennis Center with Yuliana Monroy. And Yuliana, first of all, talk about your season. You've had a really good season here.
Yes, I'm really proud, because we haven't improved too much. We haven't been working more than a team. I feel that we are a family, and I think that is the key that is having good in the tournaments.
Now, talk about you had a big match last Sunday against ASA Miami. You came away with a couple wins. that was a really good test for you guys to get into this weekend's region tournament.
Yes, that is a good practice because they are a good team. So I think like in the regional scene, like we are going to be good, like supporting each other and be together like a family.
Now, you played last year in the Region 8 tournament. Talk about what kind of the differences are between a tournament like that and what you're used to day in and day out here.
Over there we play like they do a drop with every number 1 player, another drop the numbers 2, and it's the same with doubles. But like with doubles it's in team, and single like just by my own.
And what do you think you have to do? What's for Yuliana to play well on a whole day like that? What do you have to do? I mean, is it more just trying to stay refreshed, or what really is the key to playing a long day like that?
The key is like supporting each other, like be together, everyone, and I think like we are doing that so good, and we are going to continue improving that and do it the same or better over there.
Now, talk about singles and doubles. You play both. What's your biggest difference between singles and doubles for you as a player?
Like in singles, like I just focus like in me, but in doubles, we have to work in a team. So it's good because like we support each other. So I tell my partner like strategies, what to do, and I think it's very fun. Like I enjoy like playing doubles because I like the volley, so I can cross. And like doubles is more a strategy, like more than singles, and I like both.
And you've been playing with Sarah Manseri most of the year. How fast did that kind of come, the two of you playing together and knowing what she does and what you do?
Like the beginning was weird because like we didn't know each other, but we always practice doubles together, so we know like more each other. So I know like her father, so I always like be with her, like trying to put her up. So I think it's very good.
Now, talk about your game. What would you say the strengths of your game are?
My like the mobility and my forehand. Like I think that is my best shots.
And when did you start playing tennis?
I started playing tennis since I was 8 years old because of my father. He is a tennis coach. So.
And where were you when you started playing?
In Colombia, in Medellin, my city.
Hey fans, that was Yuliana. Now Mike, another player that really brings a lot of energy to Bobby Cashman's team. Let's talk about this young lady that she loves to go Titans.
Yeah, definitely. Dugleisy Linarez, you know, she's really the one that picks up the team and keeps them really up and ready to play, and she plays number 3 singles for the team and number 2 doubles with Shada Nickel, and has had a really great season, and we talked to her about all of that. Well, we're back here at Titan Tennis Center, and now I'm with Dugleisy Linarez. And Dugleisy, first of all, just talk about your season a little bit. What kind of season has it been for you?
It's been like a very good season. We started last semester here that we transferred to Eastern Florida, and it's been like very good. Like we got like last regionals, and like we have improved like a lot, like with the new coach and everything. So it's been like pretty good.
And talk about your game a little bit. What do you like to do, and what are you good at?
I like to do more like serve and volley. So I kind of say they are my best shots, and I love to play doubles because I can improve those like shots. So like I love that.
And talk about doubles. You and Shada Nickel have had a really good combination coming up this year. What's it been like, kind of you and Shada getting together?
Well, at the beginning, like we didn't get along at all because like our tennis is like it didn't match at the beginning, but then like we started communicating more and like with coach and everything. So we have like practicing every day, like to communicate better and with the shots and everything, and it's been like pretty good.
And now you've wrapped up the regular season, and now you head on to the region tournament on Friday at Altamont Springs. Now talk about what you do this week to get yourself ready for that kind of a tournament.
Well, we're trying to practice every day to get like physically, mentally stronger. So we're trying to fight every day, like to practice like as a match, like as a team, like yeah. So it's been like good.
What do you tell Shada and others that haven't been to the Region 8 tournament and the national tournament? What to expect?
The regional tournament is like it's tough because it's like a step to go to the national tournament, and I can say that it's like it's a tough team like tournament because we have to fight every day. We have to like put our effort to like fight as a team, as a family. So like have to be like pretty loud to each other to support everyone.
Talk about your game. When did you start playing tennis?
I started playing tennis since I was like 6 years old because my mom is a manager of like a tennis academy back there, and my cousin was like a not famous like coach in Venezuela, but like he was very like known there.
And what do you like to do when you're not playing tennis?
I like to like listen music or watching movies, yeah, to chill.
Is there a favorite movie? Is there one that you really like?
Actually, not really. Like I don't have like any favorite. I like everything, but I kind of enjoy more like action movies.
Well, those were some great interviews by Michael Parsons. Mike, Bobby Cashman, he's trying to set up this team to also make nationals. Really, this team really has turned it on under Bobby Cashman's tutelage in his first year.
Yeah, it really has. It's been a really good season for them, and they're playing well right now. And you know they have a big tournament this weekend, so it's basically your region tournament to get into the national tournament. Top 3 teams advance to nationals, and it's in Altamont Springs. It starts Friday, goes until Sunday, so it's gonna be a big weekend of tennis. And you know I talked to both the players about just how do you really handle 3 long days of tennis to get ready for that. And you know, it was funny because both of them basically were just saying that you have to keep each other up because you know you're going to get down at times. There's going to be times where you're tired, and as a team you just have to continue to push each other in order to keep going. And you know, both Yuliana and Dugleisy were both there last year with ASA Miami, and so they have that experience. And I think that's really going to help this team as they try to make the national tournament.
So that's this weekend, the Region 8 tournament.
Yep, that's this weekend in Altamont Springs, so it'll basically be all day. I'm going to be there and watch, and can't wait.
I'll tell you what, I did like the interview with Dugleisy with that energy.
Yeah.
That'll help get through a 3-day.
It definitely will, you know, and she's fun to be around, and you know, she's going to help carry the team for sure. But I look for big things. I think this team can definitely make the run and go to the national tournament, and you know, once you hit the national tournament, anything can happen.
Well, I'll tell you what, this weekend, the Region 8 tournament in nearby Altamont Springs. Mike, stick around with us. We'll do that sports roundup as we always do.
Sounds good.
Stick around. Sports roundup, that's coming up next. That's Michael Parsons, Inside Titan Sports.
Create the career of your dreams with a degree from Eastern Florida State College. Earn a bachelor's degree, associate's degree, or college certificate in growing job fields like healthcare, business, and computer technology. On campus or online, you can find inspiration and success. Anything's possible where Titans rise. Eastern Florida State College.
Hey fans, welcome back to our final segment of Inside Titan Sports. I got Mike Parsons in studio here. Mike, this is always a fun part of the show for me. We get to do a sports roundup, and you and I get to cover anything and everything for Titans athletics.
Yeah.
We talked about tennis. Great job on the other side with the interviews. Bobby Cashman in his first year is doing a great job. Talk about men's tennis. What's next up for men's tennis?
Yep, the men's tennis team has already clinched a spot in the national tournament, and so you know now it's kind of a downtime for them. As in a week or two they're going to have a couple matches to try to ramp up and get ready for that national tournament. At the beginning of May, they go to Texas and then compete in the national tournament. And it's a huge kudos for them that they got in early. You know, they were able to clinch that spot early and get that bid, and now they just get to get ready for it.
Now that's got to be a big challenge for Bobby Cashman, obviously coming in, doing a great job, great historical value in terms of the coaching ranks. But to coach both teams, the men's and women's, and then coordinate these possible postseason runs, what do you get from Cashman when you talk about that?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot, you know, and it's funny to watch because he'll overlap practices a little bit. So the women's practice will be from 1 to 2:30, but the men will be from 2 to 4, you know, and so it's kind of funny to watch and see how he does things like that. But he's able to make it work pretty well, and I think, the men being able to clinch a little early helps too, because now he's been able to focus on the women's team and get them ready for this weekend's regional tournament to get them into the national tournament as well. And then, it's just back-to-back weeks basically. So he'll spend a lot of time in Texas if they both make it, because both of the national tournaments are in Texas. So.
We'll talk about that. The softball was on the show. Jim Badia, another first-year coach for Eastern Florida. Great hires by Coach Carr. Jim Badia, now they have a chance to make the state tournament.
Yeah, they have a really good chance. I would say that, like you said, they're in the driver's seat to make the state tournament. They just have to pick up a couple wins this next week, and they'll lock up that spot. And, the state tournament, anything can happen in those kind of things. And we have that kind of pitching depth. And in softball, pitching depth, wins a lot of games. And, with Jordan Lawless and Olivia Everett, we have really two good pitchers that we can send out every day. And we like our chances every day that they're on the field. And, Nikki Pennington's had a great year. Caitlin Myers had a great year. Mary Waldron's been outstanding at the top of the order. And so, you really do like the way this team is coming together right now, and they can make a serious run. And, the goal is nationals in every sport. And, right now we have a good shot at making it in most sports this year, and it's really outstanding.
And that's great. Again, two first-year coaches, Jim Badia with softball and Bobby Cashman with men's and women's tennis. Nikki Pennington, as you said, she's pushing 60 RBIs.
Yeah.
Those are top ranks in the country.
They really are. She's had an outstanding season, and it's kind of a surprise when you think about it. I mean, a freshman just coming in from right here in Brevard County, and she really plays well, and she can hit the ball. I mean, her swing is just really nice to see, and she's had a lot of success, and we hope that continues, right into hopefully a national tournament bid in Utah.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, she was on the show, did a great job of the show as well. Coach Tam, men's baseball. Give us an update on men's baseball.
Yeah, baseball team's coming off a really good week last week. They took 3 of 4 against Indian River. They're having an up and down season, but at the same time, they've been playing really well lately. And so, we hope that they can, finish strong the season now. And they seem like they found some things. Elian Morejo's hitting the ball really well. He's the catcher/DH for the team. And, he had a huge 3-run home run in the second game against Indian River that really got the team going. And they've got some good pitching. And Mason Studstill, who's a Brevard County product as well, he's kind of come in and done both. He's kind of the Shohei Ohtani. He's DHing when he's not pitching, and then he starts on other days. So, he's doing a little bit of everything for the team, and they're getting a lot better. And, the freshman center fielder, Kevin Silva's having a great year. And so, there's a lot of things to like about how this team's looking right now as they go down the stretch.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the brand of Eastern Florida is definitely known in the baseball circles. What about one of our stalwarts, one of the guys that rocks the program, Jamie Howell? He's been here doing a great job, men's and women's golf. Give us an update on the golf programs, please.
Yeah, the women's golf team, they wrapped up their Florida Tech Panther Invitational. They played with a bunch of Division II teams, which, Coach Howell likes to do with both of his teams just to get them ready for the postseason.
Right.
And there's no better way than to play against Division II, 4-year programs.
Test your mettle.
To test your mettle and get you ready for a tournament, and it's great that we're able to do that, and it's great to see us compete at that level and, actually compete at that level. And we played well. The women played well this week, and we're, all in the top 30 individually in the tournament, which is really great when you're playing that kind of competition,
right.
And so they go next, this next weekend, they'll go to Daytona Beach. That's where the regional tournament is for women's golf. And Daytona State is a powerhouse, and so it'll be a tough road. But, it's kind of Jamie's first year. It's head coach Howell's first year in the program, and so, he's building it, and I'm excited to see where it's going.
Yeah, he's another coach who has to wear both hats.
Yeah.
Like Cashman does with tennis, now men's and women's golf. But like you said, Duran has been a big supporter of the program, and Jamie has been really great of the partnerships of other courses in the community. When is the date of that, the Duran?
Yeah, definitely. And the men's golf region tournament is going to be at Duran April 24th and 25th. And,
oh, wow.
Duran really does a great job at hosting these events, and it's a great golf course.
Great track.
It's a nice course to walk around, and you can really see the players really well. You can walk that back nine pretty easily. I mean, I do it all the time, and I don't love to walk all the time, but I can walk that really easily and get around the course and see these players, and it's fun to watch them. And that April 24th, 25th is going to be a big tournament, and we win that or finish in the top couple, but then we'll advance to the national tournament once again. And that's, obviously that's always the goal, and that's in Texas as well. So I'm hoping to be in Texas most of May.
Speaking of another trip, let's look back. We had some special additions. Jeremy Schulman, that made the Final Four and won 3 games out of 4. And what was your experience to Hutch?
Yeah, it was, it's funny because we've been now the last 3 years.
Yeah.
And so you get so that you know people and you know things. And I'm always just surprised at the reception you get. At the beginning of the week, everybody knows you now. We've been there the last couple years. And so not only at the arena, but around town when you're wearing your Eastern Florida shirt.
Right.
They all know who you are now.
That's pretty neat.
And it's pretty neat, and it's a cool experience, and you go into restaurants and stuff, and people will go, "Good luck this week, good luck this week," and you're just like, "Wow, okay," But you get a fan base, and it's really interesting, and it's fun to watch, and it makes Hutchinson a really special place because people they just gravitate toward good teams.
Right.
And we've brought a good team the last 2 years, and so fans have bought in there, and we hand out T-shirts and make
That's
sure that
cool.
we actually have T-shirts around the arena and stuff, and it's just a fun experience.
Well, I mean, I tell you what, especially Jeremy Schulman, he really cultivates some great student athletes.
Definitely.
And when we did that special edition that Rob Linarez did a great job with, is that those kids really bought in the community, and it was a great story with Lincoln Elementary.
It really was. It was so cool to see, and to see the guys, texting with them,
Yeah.
and talking to them during games. I wrote about this a little bit too because Jalen Warren comes off a huge game, and instead of watching the team he's going to play next, he's holding court with these 9 and 10-year-olds, and
That's special.
And they're all just sitting around him like just on every word that he's saying.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's talk about making a difference. And also special, we want to make sure shed light to MJ Baker, what a great
Definitely.
ride they had as well. But Mike, listen, always appreciate your support, appreciate everything you do out there, and great show as always. That's all the time we have for this week of Inside Titan Sports. Remember, anything and everything, check us out online, EFSCTitans.com. Until next time.